can I just say it's a privilege to be standing before each and every one of you today. And also thank you to Cheryl Lawrence, who set me up for this particular day as well, who's also preached in Wellingborough for the women's ministry. So the theme for this year is building faith through prayer, and this is a theme that each and everybody who will be telling the message will be following. So the story is told of a young lady by the name of Brenda. This is a true story. Okay, it's not something I made up. And she was invited to do some rock climbing. Now, I've never done rock climbing. No, I've done, like when you go inside and you climb at the walls. I don't know if it's called abseiling or something that you go at the walls. I think I went to about 2 rounds. You got the thing around you. I went to about 2 rounds. And I was like, oh, let me down, I'll come down. And James was at the top. I went with James, and he's at the top, and he's coming, come on, Mum, come on. I was like, yeah, right. But I don't like things like that. But some people find things like that really great. And Brenda was invited to go along, and she loved things like that. I'm not one for that. Brenda, she wore contact lenses, and I don't know if anybody doesn't know, it's the children. Contact lenses, if you don't wear glasses like me, you have these little lenses that you put in the eye. Okay? And they help you to see, so you don't need things like these. And you pop them in your eye, but you need them instead of glasses. So Brenda, she's climbing rock climbing, and as she was going up, she strapped her whatever, and she's going up the side of the rock, and one of her contact lenses fell out. Now, if anybody wears glasses, they realise how important you need these contact lenses for your sight. So she was up there, and she's like, oh, my eyes. So she manages to climb up. She's holding close one eye, so she climbs to the top, and she says to her friend, look, my contact lens has come out. Can you have a look to see where it's gone? And the friend was looking down and saying, I can't see anything. And Brenda looked out, she's at the top of the mountain, and all she could see with her was like mountains and hills and whatever else. And she's like, oh, I can't believe it. And she's looking, but one eye now is really, really blurry. When you hold your hand over and one eye's blurred. And she said, I can't believe this. I can't believe my contact lens come out. And look where I am. Where am I going to find it? It hasn't fallen on me. Where am I going to find it? So she's there now, and she's desperate, okay? Because if I don't have these, I become extremely desperate because I don't see anything. Sister Ingrid said to me, share my hymnal. And I'm like, yes, there's nothing apart from the book I can see. So she climbs down, and she's all really, really blurry. She gets down to the bottom, and as she's climbing down, she's saying, Lord, you know I need my contact lens to see. And you know I'm not going to manage without this. And look where I am in the middle of nowhere. It's only going to take a miracle to find these contact lenses. But at the end of the day, I know you're a mighty God, and I know that you perform miracles. So she gets to the bottom now, she's sitting there resting, and a new party that they've climbed up, they come along, and somebody says, have a look at this, you'll never believe what I've seen. We found a contact lens. A contact lens. Now, this is how they managed to find the contact lens. A little ant is carrying the contact lens on his back, and the contact lens is moving, and that's why they noticed the contact lens. So Brenda writes, and she said, her father he's a cartoonist, and he says that, if he was to draw a cartoon, he'd probably draw a cartoon with a little ant carrying a contact lens, and the ant would be saying, okay, God, I don't know why you want me to carry this load. I can see no good in it, and it's really, really heavy. In fact, I can't even eat it, so I don't know what you want me to do with it. But you know what? I'm going to still carry it. Okay, so the ant doesn't even know why he's carrying it. But if you want me to do this, what you want me to do, I will do it. And I think it will probably do some good for us to occasionally say to ourselves, God, I don't know why you want me to carry this load, okay? And I can see no good in it, and it's really heavy. But if you want me to carry it, I will carry it. I won't complain, I won't grumble, because I know you have a reason for me to carry this load. So that's, when I read that story, I thought, amazing. And it's a true story. It's not even a true story that's made up, okay? We've got to remember, at all times, God has our best interest at heart, at all times. Okay? And we may not know, okay? But it's not for us to know the reason at times, but to have faith and believe that God is able. And And have you ever wondered how you can make our faith strong? Are there any vitamins that we can take? You know, we take vitamins all the time for this ailment or that ailment. Is there any tablets that we can take to boost our faith? Quite a few of us have got flus going around at the moment. You know, we probably dose ourselves up with vitamin this and vitamin that. But when it comes to faith, we don't have any vitamins that we can dose ourselves up to give us extra faith. Faith is something we can strengthen or improve. It's not something we can strengthen or improve with vitamins or supplements. Faith is the assurance of our belief. Faith enables us to see that what God does, and it helps us to see that what others cannot see or do. If something goes wrong with our faith, no doctor can fix the problem. Faith simply believes in things which we cannot see with our eyes. It is born in us and grows stronger and stronger when we read God's words. So prayer and faith go hand in hand. We pray in faith in a God who is able to do all things, believing that he will do what is best for us. And on this day of prayer, as we focus on faith, remember that faith is an important element in our prayer life. Paul declares in Romans 10:17, consequently, faith comes from hearing the message, and the message is heard through the word about Christ. Daily supplements, our vitamins, is from the word of God, which will surely help build and strengthen our faith. So let us turn in our Bibles to Matthew 15, verse 21 to 28. And the story is told of the Canaanite woman. So we turn to Matthew 15. Okay, verse 21 to 28. Of the Canaanite woman here. But then Jesus went out from there and departed to the region of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came from the region and cried out to him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, son of David. My daughter is severely demon-possessed. And he answered not a word. And his disciples came and urged him, saying, oh, send her away, for she cries out after us. But he answered and said, I was not sent except to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then she came and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, it is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the little dogs. And she said, yes, Lord, yet even the little dogs eat the crumbs which fall from the master's table. Then Jesus answered and said to her, O woman, great is your faith. Let it be as to you as you desire. And her daughter was healed from that very hour. Amen. In this passage, Matthew emphasizes the faith of the Canaanite woman. It tells what Jesus calls her great faith. Perhaps we would attach less importance to Jesus' words if we used his phrase frequently. But this woman is unique in two ways. In Matthew's Gospel, hers is the only story of a Gentile woman whose faith is rewarded by Jesus. And she's the only person Jesus says has great faith. Compare that with the 5 times he reminded the disciples of their little faith, and you can see how special she is. So, what is the full story of the woman? So her daughter is ill, tormented constantly by a demon, and the mother is ready to do whatever she can in order for her daughter to be healed. So this is the story of a desperate mother, a parent in anguish because of her child's suffering. Maybe this story could be our story, it could be your story, it could be my story. Perhaps you are heavy, or I'm heavy-hearted because of a sick child, a sick mother, a rebellious teen, or financial woes. Maybe we're feeling desperate. Maybe we sit here today with an anxious heart. Perhaps we're sad, worn out with worry. Our thoughts are in turmoil. And you know what? God knows how anxious our thoughts are. And He knows exactly what we need. He's one who is able to bring you peace, healing, and hope. And He has done it in the past, and He's able to do it for us again, here today. So by faith, let us hang on to His promise. Let our faith in Him strengthen us, just as it did in the Canaanite woman. She knelt before Jesus, pleading, "Master, have mercy on my daughter, because the Spirit has vexed her." Rather than responding at once, Jesus does not say a word to her. In fact, at first he ignores her, which seemed quite rude. When he does speak, his answer again seems quite harsh. He says, why, what did he say? He said, is it not good to take from the children the bread and throw it to the little dogs? Rather than responding at once, so he says here also, what he said, I'm sent to the Jews, not to the Gentiles. Remember, it's a Gentile woman. Imagine, what would you have done if you'd been in her place? You probably would have ran away and said, all right, off we go. Often we find it easy to give up when we do not hear the answer that we want. Discouragement comes in, hope evaporates, the enemy takes advantage of our weakness. But nothing could deter this woman from her faith. She faced the disapproval of the disciples, and courageously she pleads with Jesus to help her. She is persistent. She believes in His power. As a Gentile woman, we who know different, do we believe in that power? Fear does not conquer her faith. And falling at Jesus' feet, she pleads again, "Lord, help me." Is this the kind of great faith that we have? Or do we hesitate to come to God, asking, pleading, believing, and holding on to His promise in faith? Matthew 15:28 tells the rest of the story. And then Jesus answered, "Woman, you have great faith. Your request is granted." And her daughter was healed and made whole at the very hour. Ellen White writes, in faith, the woman flung herself against the barriers that had been piled up between Jews and Gentiles. Against discouragement, regardless of appearance that might have led her to doubt, she trusted the Saviour's love. It is first that Christ desires us to trust in Him also. So at this moment, I'm going to ask us now to come together in twos, because today is a day of prayer, to come together in twos and remember the prayers, okay? And look at areas of prayers in the needs of women's life today. So we're not going to spend, a great time on this, but we're going to come together in twos. And these are the areas that I want us to remember, okay? I want us to pray for women in each country, church or community. I want us to pray for special needs of women in our local church, such as abused women, single women, divorced women, single parents, those experiencing emptiness syndrome, grieving women, stressed super women, because we have many of those, professional women, widows, women in poverty, women in leadership roles, and the unemployed. And I'm sure there's many more we can think of there. I want us to pray for peace in our families, our churches, and our communities. I want us to pray that God will help each woman present here to find her own special gift and mission. I want us to ask for meaningful prayer lives, and also to pray for the presence of the Holy Spirit in our lives. So I just want us to go into twos. Remember those areas of prayers. I know we're not going to remember each and every one of them, but I just want us to have an opportunity that we can pray together, and then we're going to come back to finish hearing the word of God. So just take that time. Thank you.